Hello, beautiful people. How are you today? Whew, it is a bright and sunshiny day, so I don't know how long I can leave my sunglasses off, but I wanted to come to you today live and talk about miscarriage. This is a huge, heavy topic, and so I don't want to get super deep into it, but what I did want to say was I was at a doctor's appointment today for something completely unrelated. But the nurse that was taking care of me, she and I got into a conversation, and she had mentioned that her and her husband were planning to start trying for children soon. And, you know, we just got into the talk about like, how many kids do you have? And she had said she's about to start trying. And I mentioned to her that my first pregnancy was actually a miscarriage. And I don't know how many of you know me well enough to know that that had happened to me, but it did. And so I've actually had 3 pregnancies. The first was a miscarriage, and then 2 successful full-term babies. And so I'm blessed beyond belief and utterly grateful that I didn't have to go through that again, or you know, there's so many things that can go wrong when trying to get pregnant or when being pregnant. And I won't even get into all of that, because not only is it emotional for people to hear who have already been through it, but it's a huge subject that I couldn't even cover if I tried. But my point in all of this is, I said to her, you know, my first was a miscarriage, and she said, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And I said, "Thank you, but the reason I tell you that is to let you know that if this does happen to you, not to be discouraged, because it is not talked about very much, unfortunately." Sorry, my little one's not the happiest today to be on the walk. Normally he's like super chill, so you may hear him fussing, but you know, it's not easy, obviously. To have a miscarriage is so emotionally taxing, so stressful on both the mom and the dad and any family members involved. But I want people to know that it is so underreported in the medical literature. I believe the number is 1 in 4 are miscarriages or have miscarriages. But in my own experience, I would say it's probably more like 1 in 2. I think I know more people who have had a miscarriage when trying to conceive, or, you know, through their process of having children, than people I know that have not had any miscarriages. So it's very common. So that's the first thing I want mamas and dads to know. It is super common, and people just don't talk about it. I actually, when mine occurred, I reached out to a few friends who are super close, and I told them, and I was grieving, and a couple of them said, actually, I think all of the people I reached out to, the first 3 people said, "Oh, that's happened to me too." And I knew about some of them, but I didn't know about all. And it was, I don't want to say it was a relief to hear them say that, because obviously it's never a good thing that someone had to go through that. But it made me feel better in the sense that not only was I not alone, but somebody knew how I felt in that moment, and I had someone I could confide in. So I encourage you, if it's ever happened to you, or if it does ever happen to you, which heaven forbid, and I hope it does not, but if it does, reach out to someone close to you and talk to them and just let them know how you're feeling, because in those moments you need someone to grieve with, you need someone to feel those emotions through with. So please don't do it alone, is the first thing. Second of all, like I said, heaven forbid it happened to you, but if it does, know that it doesn't mean that you can't have a healthy pregnancy or a healthy child in follow-up. You know, a lot of people, especially when it's their first, take that to mean that they're infertile or they have some issue going on, that, you know, they're never going to have a successful pregnancy. And that's not always the case. More often than not, I venture to say, it is not the case. Usually you can carry to term and have a successful, healthy pregnancy after a miscarriage. Of course, there's no 100% guarantee of that. There's always cases where that's not what happens. But I'm here to give you some hope, and I'm here to open the dialogue about it because, I feel like there's a lot of shame and guilt and fear and just a lot of negative emotion surrounding miscarriage. And like I said, not enough people talk about it. I mean, I had close friends of mine who I've known for years who I never knew were dealing with that or had dealt with that. And so we just need to, as women, come together and open that dialogue and know that nothing's wrong with our bodies, nothing's wrong with us if that happens to us. And to just take away that shame, that guilt, that fear. And I mean, I know it's easier said than done on those things, but I think it starts with talking about it, and it starts with the knowledge, the information that I'm giving you, and that you can also do for yourself. You can research yourself and find out about the numbers and about the statistics. But I just wanted to have that quick dialogue with you because I know someone out there listening to this and watching this today needs to hear these things. It's not for everyone, and thank goodness for that, because it's a terrible thing to have to go through. But there's somebody out there that this is going to reach and help, and that is who I'm talking to today. So, my future mamas and already mamas who are still having babies, I love you so much, and I wish you well. And again, I hope this topic never has to touch you personally, but if it does, please know that I'm here, and I'm sure you have many loved ones who are also there for you if you ever need them to be. So, happy Monday, you guys. I'll talk to you soon.